Hi everybody, this is Justine Hunt. For this presentation, I'll be describing a 4-week course about intersectionality using young adult literature. This 4-week course will be directed at a high school classroom. During three weeks of this 4-week course, the class will read 3 young adult novels: Ibby Joby's American Street, Nina LaCour's We Are Okay, and Tommy Adime's Children of Blood and Bone. For the final week, we will work on the final project for this course. The students will be given a few different options for the format. The first option will be to write a standard essay. The goal for the essay is to show their understanding of the course and what they had learned from the novels. The second option will be to create a presentation. The goal for the presentation will also be to show their understanding of the course and what they had learned from the novels. I would allow class time for the students who choose this option to present in front of the class. The final option would be to write a creative writing piece. In this creative piece, I would want them to create characters that display intersectionality. Another option would be to create characters that do not display intersectionality. They could also compare both of these types of characters. The main goal of the final assignment will be to show me that they understand intersectionality and the importance of intersectionality. As for grading, I will mainly be giving participation points. If there is obvious effort and understanding, they should receive a good grade. Intersectionality expands our way of looking at people and characters. It allows us to see people as complex. Hank Visky writes, taken together, the primer in this series contributes to the ongoing exploration of how intersectionality can be used to better understand and address the complexities of inequities and strive for social justice. Teaching intersectionality will teach the students to see characters and people as complex and not one-dimensional. It will also teach students to not judge someone based on a single identity, but to instead consider all of their identities, for example, race, sexuality, and gender. Teaching Young Adult Literature Today writes, English teachers know the power of literature. We know the power of seeing ourselves in text through mirrors, but we also understand the importance of seeing others through windows and sliding glass doors. Intersectionality will be a great segue into the idea of people seeing themselves in literature. People should have a chance to see themselves in the books they read. People should also read novels that are not simply focused on their demographic. Young adult literature opens that door. My first week of this 4-week course will be on Ibby Joby's American Street. This young adult novel follows 16-year-old Fabola Toussaint, whose nickname is Fab, after her move from Haiti. The story begins with Fab and her mom immigrating to America. Fab makes it to her destination. However, her mom is detained at the airport. Fab joins her family in Detroit and starts her journey towards her teenage American life while also fighting to free her mother. The students can learn a lot about intersectionality through this novel. Fab struggles with people seeing her only as an immigrant from Haiti. She also learns that there is more to her cousin's identity than the simple fact that they are American. This novel does an awesome job at showing the complexity of humans. For the second week, I will introduce the second novel, which is Nina LaCour's We Are Okay. This young adult novel follows 18-year-old college student Marin during a time of grief. With the loss of her parents, she was raised by her grandpa. After the death of her grandpa, Marin ran away from her hometown to New York and enrolled in college. During winter break, Marin is left completely alone in the dorm rooms until an old friend, Mabel, comes to visit. The book covers a series of 5 days where Marin tries her best to communicate her grief to her old best friend. This novel displays intersectionality through the diversity of religion and sexuality that is shown through Marin. However, this novel also shows the complexity of grief. Marin's character shows the reader that grief is not one-dimensional, but can be complex and confusing at times. For the final novel, I will have the students read Tommy Adime's Children of Blood and Bone. This young adult fantasy novel follows a young girl, Zelly. Zelly is a magic-wielding Mahi. It also follows Tizane, Amari, and Enan. With the Mahi people under great oppression, Zelly takes on the task to bring magic back with her brother Tizane and the Orisha princess Amari. On this journey, they are pursued by Amari's brother and Prince of Orisha, Enan. Enan is going through a change in which he is turning into the very thing he hates, a Mahi. I want to use this novel to show the consequences of seeing people as one-dimensional. Enan strictly sees the Mahi as only Mahi instead of looking into who they are on a deeper level. This leads him to hate and want to kill them. It isn't until he becomes a Mahi that he realizes that they are much more complex than he gave them credit for. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I hope to use this idea for a 4-week course in my future high school classes, and I also encourage my future students to read these novels along with more young adult literature. Here is my works cited page. Thank you.